Check it out, Memphis Jones at Graceland, maybe for the millionth time in my life. One of the biggest fans of Memphis music ever, right here. Of course, a huge chapter of that book is not just the man, Elvis Presley, but the Presley family. And dig this, I'm sitting next to Lisa Marie. I'm just gonna give you a round of applause. I am thrilled. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you.
And can I just ask you right off the bat, when they said Lisa Marie is coming downstairs, to you, I mean, to me, that's like, hey, everybody get ready. But to you, is that just coming home?
Yes. Yes, I mean, I actually tried to use the trash compactor in the kitchen a minute ago that I used about 20 years ago, and I realized it didn't work. So yeah.
Unplugged. How about that? So when you see, like when you come and you see, you know, there's ropes, you know, where the public's not allowed to go, you're seeing your home. I mean, you're having memories and everything there.
Mm-hmm. You know, this couch, we used to play hide and go seek in here a lot when I was little, so.
Awesome.
Turn out the lights, go pitch black, and hide.
Oh, right, because downstairs down here, there's no sunlight.
There's
that sounds like fun.
There was no adults, there was no nothing.
That sounds dangerous.
It was.
Well, the Jungle Room, you know, here at Graceland, obviously there's things about it that the whole world, there's just, you know, like catchphrases. Everybody knows there's a Jungle Room somewhere out there. The Elvis fans know what it means more. The Jungle Room to you, that's a part of, you know, who you are, part of your childhood. What was it like, you know, just walking in the Jungle Room? There's a fountain, you know, there's carvings.
You know, the Jungle Room when I was little used to have a big screen television and one of those old style projectors in the room, in the middle of the room. So I would watch TV in there quite a bit, actually, at the time.
To you, it was a TV room.
Yeah, it was in front of the fountain. So I mean, we would watch. I remember actually watching Sesame Street in there a lot.
Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite character on Sesame Street? Just found this out for myself. A lot of soul searching. Cookie Monster. You got a favorite?
I love Cookie Monster, but I also I liked Oscar.
Oscar. Did you relate to Oscar somehow?
I just thought he was. I liked that he could go away in his trash can. I was fascinated by his trash can.
I don't know if you've ever done an interview where you're discussing Oscar the Grouch's trash can, but I'm going to go with this. Is your favorite part when he goes down looking for something and there's all kinds of,
yeah.
You can see his eyes.
Love that. And all kinds of stuff comes flying up. And also that he goes down really low, it echoes, and it seems to have a whole, you know, universe down there.
There's another
I
life.
was fascinated. That and, you know, like I Dream of Jeannie used to have the same her little bottle. I love that.
How about
I guess
that?
I like the idea of going somewhere and hiding.
That's kind of heavy. I like that. I'm gonna say this. Last night, Lisa Marie was at Sun Studio, and this is like, for me, this is a huge deal. I got to go out and watch her and the band sitting right over here, some of the most incredibly talented, understated, unassuming musicians. They walk into the room, they plug in. You don't even know that you're standing in the room with a bunch of superstars, and the sounds that came out of the speakers in the control room last night floored me. Brand new album, Storm and Grace, the first song that I heard that they performed last night, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. I want to talk to you just a little bit about what it was like for you to go into the studio with your band, performing live the same way that it did, you know, half a century ago when, you know, young men like your father and those other country boys with a heart full of blues and a handful of the guitar walk into that room, 706 Union Avenue. Was that meaningful? Was that sort of a homecoming also?
It was, you know, I was really moved when I got in there because I never, unfortunately, had the chance to get over there when I was, you know, here or in Memphis. I never got a chance to go over there. So that was my first time there, and to just walk in and start singing in the room was, you know, you look around at all these incredible photos and all the history, and it's mind-blowing. And that everything happened in that room, and it's exactly the same. The tiles are the same, and it was I turned around, the band was grinning ear to ear. Everyone was just so excited and blown away to be there.
That's awesome. We were sort of hanging around next door in like the gift shop area. It used to be a little restaurant called Taylor's, and the piano player came over, and like you were saying, his mouth was hanging open, his eyes, you know, he's just not blinking, and he was looking around, and, you know, he was struck by the history. I mean, the momentous history. I mean, the whole world has to reckon now that rock and roll has done more out of the middle of the 20th century in Memphis, Tennessee. It's done more to shape pop culture than anything else.
It's true.
And you saw that firsthand.
The
blues and rhythm and blues and rock and roll, it's one crazy storm that came out. Now, but when you were there last night and you were performing, did you, as you were singing, you know, this music you sort of described it. You've described that your lyric writing is sort of like channeling. As this was sort of coming through you, did you sort of feel yourself adding your name to that list of great musicians who've made history?
I mean, I was so honored to be able to do that. You know, I mean, I it was an honor. It really was. It was, and then, you know, the room is really simple, and it's just it's really old school to do it there, and that's also really amazing to be able to do that and experience that the way that it was done then, and you know, then go in the control room and listen to it after. We were blown away at how good it sounded.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? So
that can be a litmus test for a lot of bands, whether a band can show up in a room and really bring it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I was standing there with my mouth hanging open just listening to the music because you guys really brought it last night.
Well, thank you.
I'm not saying that because the camera's on. I've been saying it to everybody in my life since I left the studio last night. So
that's
so
sweet.
cool.
Thank you.
Elvis Week is coming up. The end in August. We're looking at the 35th anniversary, and it's going to be a big year. What does Elvis Week mean? I mean, to you, you've got a life, you've got a family, career. What does Elvis Week even appear on your radar?
Of course it does. I just make sure that everyone is going to be happy and everything's set up, and you know, every year is different.
Do you have plans, personal plans for Elvis Week this year?
This year, I don't have them yet, but they will come to me very soon. Very soon.
Someone's going to let you know what plans you've come up with?
No. I usually come up with it the last minute. That's normally how I work.
Sometimes I'll meet people just here in town. I'll meet people from all over the world that, you know, they've been saving for years. They want to come to Graceland. You know, they want to go to Sun. They want to go to the places where rock and roll really, you know, had its first real impacts. And, you know, and they all want to talk about who owns Graceland. You know, it seems, you know, it is important to maybe not the tourist, but definitely to the purist. It's important that Graceland doesn't turn over and become just a commodity, but that it maintains some integrity.
Absolutely.
Is that a struggle at all? I mean, I don't want you to, like, you know, let any cats out of the bag, but like for you to maintain the integrity, the Presley name, the thumbprint, is that difficult for you to do, just and balance with your personal life?
No, because, you know, it's been running so well for so long. I own, just to clear the record, I mean, we still, my family, I still own Graceland without question.
Awesome.
And it's nice to have, you know, investors and other people around, but they would never, you know, it's very endearing. I mean, it's very important to keep my family still. My cousin, you know, is head of maintenance here still, and my other cousin is, you know, head of operations. And I mean, it's a very family-run, well-oiled machine. Has been for years. No one is gonna ever change that.
Awesome.
You know, my mom is also really, really, really good at watching, you know, quality control and all that kind of stuff. So she'll come in there, and I know, you know, she'll set it straight if it's going awry.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It is so important. And I know that this is going to be really valuable, you know, for people to get to go to the Elvis.com website and hear you, you know, sitting right here saying, you know, the experience that you have is the experience that I'm intending for you to have. And that's a real strong connection.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the Graceland is mine and in my family. That it's the house itself and the entire grounds and everything part of it is 100% in my family and with us. Yeah. Awesome.
I heard you talking to someone last night about your cover art for the new album, that you shot it in some woods close by.
Yes, right over the white fence, you know, behind the church. You know.
Right. So that's just on the north side. But on the album, I saw the images that were on the posters last night. It looked like you're just sort of in the middle of nowhere. That's just right here in Graceland.
Yeah, it's right in the woods. It's right. There's a little road behind Graceland that goes up to the back.
Why did you Why did you choose that? I mean, of all the places in the world.
Because I was never allowed to go over there. It was always kind of forbidden. And, you know, I don't know. It was winter and it was woods and seemed like it went really well with the whole body of work of the album. I was never allowed there because it was kind of creepy over there. You know, it was also public property, so anybody could be there in the woods, kind of lurking. Yeah. Gotcha. So I was always protected from going that way. And anyway, it's nice to just be able to run free.
Just doing your thing
in the trees.
There. Kind of just sticking it to the man.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. The single that I heard of you guys chose for the single, I really enjoyed all the songs, and the lyrics were they're profound and artful and tasteful. You know, there's a lot of inspiration I was able to glean. You know, like I was sort of able to put my own story on your story. But the main single, like the thing that's going to be presented first, You Ain't Seen Nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. That's a statement. And last night you told me you didn't feel like that was a confrontational statement. But what is that statement like to the Elvis fan? Let me put it like this. To the Elvis fan who's diehard, and for the past 20 years, they've loved Elvis, and they do not know that they're about to become just as diehard for Lisa Marie Presley, and just one song. What is that? How is this going to reach the public who doesn't know you that well yet?
I don't know, but what you said is very important to me about, you make your own story when you hear the song. So I don't tend to, that's an important thing for a songwriter to be able to do, regardless of who I am and where I came from. I mean, just that I can write a song and have someone make it their own somehow is really important to me. I just, that's just kind of what I do, and it reaches people, and it makes them make their own story, and that's all I can hope for,
It's a connection. You're just you're making yourself available to the listener, and you're letting them connect. I'm
writing. It's like I'm writing. I take whatever my perspective or what I've heard, what I've seen, what I'm thinking, first, second, third person, literal, metaphorical, and then I labor over lyrics for hours and hours and hours and phrases, trying to make it so that it's universal for everybody. So if anybody listens to it, they can feel it. Because that's what's important about music.
Man, that's fascinating. I write songs too, but as I'm listening to you talk about writing, why do you write? You've written all your life. I watched you in an interview saying when you were your kid, you kind of journaled. You just have always written. What is that? Why do you do that?
I don't know. Because the one, I'm kind of, I don't know. It's some kind of a therapeutic thing for me.
You just write it all out.
To write.
Do you keep journals?
Not anymore. No.
Oh, I got you.
Not after I've seen what happens.
That sounds like
to
wisdom.
People
I got you. Oh, wow.
I wish I would lose it is the problem.
Yeah.
I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to me. So it would be a mistake for me to be writing a journal, I think.
Awesome. But you've just been a writer all your life, and now you've moved that into, just, do you consider yourself a songwriter? Like, could I tell people, Lisa Marie is a songwriter? Is that like how you define?
I would like to. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I'm proud of. That's just what I do.
Well, you're great at it. You're great at it. I just loved it so much. And you know what? My bag is music from the first decade and a half of rock and roll, and things that are newer than that. When I was a younger man, I had ears for it, but the more import that I find in the classics, I'm talking about, the explosion of Memphis music. Mm-hmm. I just can't really hear a lot in modern music that I enjoy because I'm looking for an integrity or a purity. Mm-hmm. And so I was really, really shocked. I was floored last night of the impact that the musicians, the music, and the lyrics, and your vocal style had on me. I was really, really impressed. And I know, I'm not just saying this, I'm not a salesman, and I ain't getting a kickback. I'm just saying, I know that if you'll give an earball to this album, you will love it. Put 2 of them in there, you'll love it twice as much. I think it's great.
I need to have you around more often.
Am I good for it? Your mom said in an interview that you were born to do this. That you were born to do this. And really? I also read online that this is the album that you were born to make. It's 2012, got a new release. Do you feel like that's someone trying to put a label on you or put a sticker on you, or do you think, yes, when I'm doing my thing, apart from, the obligations that I have, when I'm doing my thing, was this the album you were born to make?
I think so. I had to go through a little bit of process to get to here, but definitely, I had to. The other 2 records I had to kind of find my way. It's like being in a closet and trying on a lot of different clothes, and then you put on the right outfit.
Gotcha.
So I feel like this is the right outfit.
And here I am sitting next to Lisa Marie Presley. You've got a Twitter.
I do.
Account. Is that? It's
I've just started
Lisa
about a month
Presley.
and a half ago. I just started.
Do you hate it? You love it?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I do. I like a lot of it. I do actually like it. It is. I can see how it would. It's addictive. You want to.
Yeah.
I could see how it would take me. But I have to.
So do you want 1 billion people to be following you on Twitter?
Do I want 1 billion?
All right,
people?
we'll cut it in half. 1 jillion. I'm not a mathematician. I don't know what half a billion is. Would you like for me right now to ask the editors to put your Twitter account right on the bottom, right down here? Would that be cool?
Absolutely. Whatever you feel like doing.
Cool. Listen, if you have $15 laying around, you need to be spending it on an album, or you need to be spending it on a plane ticket coming to Memphis, Tennessee to experience Elvis Week. I'm going to stand up when we're done here, and I'm going to shake this off, and I'm going to try to convince myself that it really happened. A living legend, part of the legacy of Memphis, Tennessee, Lisa Marie Presley. It is my honor.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Boom! That just happened.